Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's been a little while since I've done a proper update of this. Got a bit lazy and complacent and caught up in the whirlwind of life, which none of those are a genuine excuse. But yeah, just been a crazy few days, going to Toowoomba and then just work and life, and at the point of physical, mental and spiritual bloody exhaustion from this gym challenge. But let's have a go at that sunrise. Absolutely bloody spectacular. And last few days I've been really feeling exhausted. It's probably the best way of doing it. And then because of that exhaustion, sort of get a bit down on yourself and beat yourself up and really become lazy, I guess, with the self-care and the things that I should be doing and the things that I promised myself that I would be doing. Hence why I kind of missed a couple of these videos. But anyway, that's okay. It's all part of the lesson. It's all part of the process. And here we go. We are back. But what that kind of brings me into is the topic of what I wanted to sort of talk about. And that is happiness and how we seek happiness, or sometimes even perceive happiness. Now we should be seeking joy, we should be seeking bliss, because they are part of the journey, and that's just the entirety of your being. Whereas happiness is, it can remove the weight and heaviness of the world, but they are kind of the destination. And happiness is a brilliant thing, and if you are seeking joy and bliss, then you will find happiness along the way. But joy and bliss are just the entirety of your being, of your existence. Whereas happiness is more of a fleeting moment. But the thing with happiness, just getting distracted by a mushroom, an ADHD, she runs rampant. But the issue that we have, and this is something that I've definitely found in my life, and this is the programming that I have had from my upbringing, and something that I am working on and am definitely getting a lot better at. But when you have moments like the last few days where you do beat yourself up and you seek your own happiness elsewhere from an external source, that's when it becomes a problem. And this is where you kind of push yourself into more of a state of potential exhaustion. I was already in fairly exhausted. This gym challenge is definitely wearing me out in a lot more ways than I sort of anticipated. But because of that exhaustion, I sort of kind of relapsed of sort into my old ways and my old belief systems. Just walked past a random guy. So still battling the mental blockers, I guess, obviously, of doing these videos in public and getting people to hear about me talk, and still guess my ego is still challenged because of fear of judgment or whatever. I don't even know that bloke and don't know his story, and he might have even need to hear what I had to say at that point, but I get in my own way when it comes to that shit. But anyway, as I was saying, kind of have a relapse of sorts of going back to my old self, and that is 100% part of the process. My issue is I then stop finding happiness within me, and I search for happiness without me. And that's the lesson that I want to talk about today. Happiness should come from within, not without. If you seek it from outside of your being, then you are seeking a fleeting state of happiness. You are seeking an unattainable outcome, because happiness ultimately comes from within you. You can be happy in any single moment. It is just your perception, your own awareness, your own consciousness that is creating your own happiness. So when you seek the fulfillment of that happiness outside of you, then you are seeking something that is unattainable, because it ultimately only comes from within you. And then you will potentially actually become less happy, because you aren't, if you're a drug addict and you're searching for a drug high and you can't get that drug high, then it becomes a problem. And this is where we see ice addicts, meth addicts, crack addicts, whatever you want. This is where that shit gets really out of control, is because they cannot attain the high that they are seeking. And that is the same as happiness. And unrecognized or misplaced love are very, very catastrophic. They're catastrophic to your life, and they're catastrophic to the lives of people around you. And this is where we see a lot of children misbehaving, not because they have behavioral issues, but because they have love that cannot be given out, or they have learnt to communicate that love incorrectly. You think if they come from a abusive home, that the way that they have learnt to communicate is through anger, is through fighting, is through just damaging other people's lives. Because, as I've mentioned in other videos, they are just they are wired to learn, and the way that they are learning to communicate in this world is through that violence, through that anger, through all of these incorrect ways. And this is then how they kind of think that they can express their love. So unexpressed, misplaced, or misguided love is actually very, very catastrophic. And great example of that is often we hurt the ones that we love the most, and that's because we have the most amount of love to give them, but that love is misplaced or misguided. So I want to hear your thoughts on maybe some areas that you think that you have potentially seeked or are seeking. You've either seeked or you are seeking happiness from an outside source. How has that made you feel? Then also, how are you going to change your actions so that you can seek your happiness from within rather than without? I am very interested to hear your thoughts. Also, if there has been some misguided or misplaced love, and how that has affected you. I think I've said that before, I can't remember. Anyway, we get caught up in the ramblings of these videos, so you guys are bloody welcome for that, and welcome for my ADHD. But without my ADHD, then we wouldn't be doing these videos, because it allows my creative freedom, and it's ultimately the thing that allows me to pushes me towards to do these things. But as Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility. And ADHD certainly is a great power, but it is also very catastrophic. But I love it most of the time. So anyway, rambling on again. About to hit the gym. 2 weeks to go. Well, over a week and a half to go. And I am ready for a week's bloody rest. Oh, my sweet baby Jesus. It's been a long, long journey. But anyhow, here we are. Signing off now, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a splendid bloody week. And I apologise for missing a couple of videos. Apologise to myself more so than I do to you guys, because I'm the one who needs to keep me accountable, and I'm the one who beats myself up for not doing the videos. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you once again for tuning in, and if you have made it this far, you are a bloody legend. And as always, much love and namaste.